Right. All right. Good evening, everybody. David E. Taylor, you're a piece of shit. Tonight, guys, we are going to talk about the the self-indulgent world that David E. Taylor has created for himself. First of all, I want to thank you to the subscribers, you guys. Thank you for being here. Thank you for stopping in. Thank you for watching. And thank you for being a part of this organization, or whatever you want to call it, movement, active movement. I don't even know what to call it. Cult Watch Crew. Thanks for being here. So yes, tonight we're going to talk about this world that David has created for himself. Okay, I'm no mental health therapist. Chris Com and Betsy Kobo, thanks for being here, guys. Appreciate you guys being here, man. And I think you guys can all agree here. None of us are doctors or certified mental health therapists, but the fact that we can all sit back here and kind of agree that David has more or less created this self-indulgent world for himself, where he is the one, the one and only. Ashley Isaac, hi, thanks for being here. New to the chat, never seen you here before. Hit that thumbs up. And it's this is this topic is going to be mental health based tonight, guys. Okay, so just be prepared for that. Okay, I really want to stick on topic tonight too, because I posted that video earlier of where it's David getting carried off stage by his staff. All right, I had somebody actually who commented, and the comment was ghosted, saying, "Oh, I don't see anything wrong with that." My opinion, I do. I've never seen the Pope carried off stage like that. Have you? Have you ever seen your pastor carried off stage like that? Anybody who has ever gone to church, have you ever seen your pastor carried off stage like that by the congregation? Pretty sure you haven't, right? All right. So again, I'm no doctor, but knowing what I know about mental health and PTSD, man, it's the complex world that David's created. And to think that there could be drug use going on inside of that, and that he's created this delusional world for himself, man, and that he's allowing the cycle of abuse to continue. He allows for his people in his cult to continue the cycle of abuse, to manipulate other people into the cult, to everything, man, everything. And David is no doubt the ringleader of this all. Legend lives. What up? Thanks for being here, man. Appreciate your time. The power. Chris Com. Yes, 100%. The power is the drug of choice. That is the drug of choice, man. I'm 100% with you there. The power trip, the power control, the fact that he's got all those blonde women up there with him, that is also a sign of power. It really is. To the nor- to us, it may not look like it, but from what we're analyzing and what we're seeing from the outside view of this is, yes, Lindsay, yeah, yep, it's unsustainable. Yeah, he got off on being carried like that. It was gross, right? And I put a shorter clip. There's another video of a shorter clip, but I wanted to do the context leading up to uh, Thor Brynjolfsson. Thanks for being here, brother. Appreciate you, man. You're a big help to the channel. Extremely knowledgeable on the Jehovah's Witness, so thank you for being here. Tonight, the topic is the mental health, the delusional world that David has created for himself. Again, you guys, I'm not a mental health doctor, but I do see a mental health therapist. I'm very open about it because mental health is a very serious topic. And there's one thing it's really among the veteran community right now is there's a stigma to going in and getting help, which there shouldn't be. If you guys need help, go get it, man. Anybody. That video posted was crazy. I might binge that show now. Oh, I saw that. Chris Com, I've been watching your channel too, bro. Yeah, but I want to stay on topic tonight, guys, okay? Because I think this is a really important. The mental health on this, okay? David is no doubt creating some sort of mental health illness for himself to create this delusional world, man. To create a Messiah image this Messiah image that he's created for himself, and the fact that nobody has. This is one of the questions I had. I was talking to one of the other channel members about, when do we say timeout? Hold the fuck up. This guy is definitely running some kind of destructive organization. To be carried out of your on stage like that, David, that is just as narcissistic as you can get, dude. I've never seen Benny Hinn do that, or fucking Kenneth Copeland. Out of all these prosperity ministers, David, you're the only one that I've seen that happen to, man. And that is just, dude, I don't get it. None of us get it, David. None of us get it. Yes, way over the top. That is way narcissistic and sociopathic of you, David. And again, the mental health that he's creating for himself. Yes, the more he knows he can manipulate, deeper he'll go, carry the weight. It's, I mean, what's y'all's initial reaction? Like, really? Like, do you think the world that David's created for himself is compounding, say, the mental health illness that could possibly be there? Because I think, guys, I think, in my opinion, there is definitely mental health illness there. No doubt. There is mental health issue there 100%, man. 100%. For him to sit here and think that he's this God complex. Ah, Ashley Isaac, do everything you can to keep them away, please. Ashley Isaac, if you can do anything, man, keep them away from him, please. If there's any sense you could talk into them. Ashley Isaac, will you email me off channel? Bruce Parkins, what's up? Thanks for being here. Hit that like button, you guys. Thanks for being here, everybody. And again, I want to stay on track tonight, guys, because I think this is kind of, we got to drive home with this. Ah, God damn it. Damn it, Ashley. Okay. Okay. All right. Understandable. That's what he does. That's what he does. He alienates families, man. That's what he does. God damn it. 1.1 million. But Jacqueline Jordan, could it be narcissistic with mental illness? You know, what if those two are compounding each other, like the narcissism along with some sort of mental illness? That's good, Ashley Isaac. I'm glad she still talks to you guys, man. If you ever want to chat off channel and, you know, man, god damn it. 1.1 million. Yep. If they ever want to reach out, and most of the and what I'm noticing, everyone, most of the people coming out of this cult are women, okay, that are damaged are women. So if there's any ladies here in the chat that are willing to make themselves available, please let yourselves be known, so that maybe these ladies would maybe feel more comfortable talking to you guys instead of me, okay? Because that's what I've noticed. Most of the people I've talked to in this are women. And I think David, being the narcissistic pig that he is, it just, I feel it would be better to talk to a female, guys. Okay, I'm all about you guys reaching out to me, but if you guys need any information, you know, I'm happy to get you in touch with somebody here. Okay, because it seems I have a recent contact I made recently said, don't ever contact me ever again. I'm changing my number and email. So, and I didn't really even disclose any of the topics we talked about. So, that being said, you know, if there's anybody ready to come out of any cult for that matter, this is a safe place. You can be here. You can talk to anybody here. Yes, and Bitter Bad. Yep, she can. I promise anybody. Okay, I can guarantee you 100%. Bitter Bad is a solid resource. If you need any help, you can go to her. 100%. Guarantee it, okay? I put my channel on that, okay? 100% solid resource, but you have to go through me, okay? I have to screen you first before I give out the information on these people, okay? Because These are people with careers, things like that, that I'm just not going to let just give information out to, okay? So I will screen you first. So, yep. Initial contact must go through me. 100%. I'm not just going to give out these contacts because these are, yeah, I don't need to explain that really. So, just no, there's channels open here. There's people here watching on back burners that can help, okay? 100%. Don't think there's not, okay? I'll never say what careers these people have, and I will never ask them to disclose it here on this channel. But no, there's resources here on this channel that can help you get out. Ashley Isaac, it is. Ashley Isaac, what do you think? Will you go ahead and I have a Google chat number in the description, okay? If you're willing to call in and maybe talk a little bit to us about what you know without giving too much information, the channel members would definitely like to hear the story. And you can stay anonymous if you want. I urge everybody to keep their names anonymous here just because of what we're dealing with here, all right? I've been getting some funny emails saying that David has assassins and all this other bullshit, which I have the emails right here. And I'll be forwarding those to the proper authorities probably first thing tomorrow. So he can manipulate people using the Bible and make money over time. Okay, legend lives. Okay. I'm with you there. But the severity, I think, is what I'm trying to grasp on too. Yeah, and to think that legend lives, and to think that it's possible. Yeah, and again, GSBM70. I have the emails. I'm gonna forward them first thing tomorrow, man. And I'll give you guys the email that since this guy is sending this weird shit out to me. You can just call from your number. Actually, it's you can just call from your regular cell number, okay? And you can just call in. It'll still come through as Google Chat, okay? It'll still come to this number. But the email it's coming from is a Marcellus, AMARCELOUS at gmail.com. And the first email I got from him today was, "Your mother should have swallowed you. Stop wasting your time." Which was fucking funny, man. That was like, dude, that was like the dopest fucking like, "Good morning, wake up. Your mother should have swallowed you." So, oh look, he emailed me back here. God is my witness. All right. And there was 51 replies here, guys. Okay. All right. So it comes in from A. Marcellus. He says he's Christian. Right. Dude, that was the funniest fucking shit, dude. I had to laugh at it. So A. Marcellus, whoever you are, if you're watching this, dude, that was a good hit, man. I give you that. My reply, wasting time, then why is David shitting his pants and sending me cease and desist? Explain me that, smartass. David is nothing more than a scared little bitch. Tell him to go fuck off since you apparently want to be the fluffer in his next film. David has nothing on this. Your mother should have spit you out, I told him. I'm telling David you said that. And for some reason, guys, I think this is possibly David I'm emailing with, okay? But I'm not sure. Please do tell him to call me and let me know what he thinks about it. He has my number. He has my address. David says that God will kill his enemies. Okay. So I take that as a legitimate threat. So now that this is going to be on public internet, so just putting that out, if anybody decides to fuck with Matt, dude, I live in Texas, man, in the middle of the fucking country. Guess what? The nearest cop is like 20, 30 minutes away. I would recommend you don't, okay? Just don't. It's not going to end well, okay? I promise, man. Just don't. David, I'm not going to come up there and fuck with you. And I would highly recommend you don't send any of your so-called assassins down here to fuck with me, okay? Because we have cool property laws here, David, in Texas, where we don't have to ask questions. We really don't, man. I just posted it, Betsy Kobo. Okay, so after David says that God will kill his enemy, I said, "Is that you, Davy Cakes?" And then thank you. I'll take that as a threat and we'll forward it over to the authorities along with all the numerous letters and stories I've been told. Tell David to call me. Or is he too much of a scared little bitch too? Okay. Ask him when will I see the court order for him to sue me, which he won't because, David, you're not going to sue me because I'll be able to pull all your bank records because you don't want that. Because you know what I'll do? I'll put all that shit public. Tell David to write it down, take a picture. I don't give a fuck. Oh, you're so hard. I'm telling David, laughing my ass off. I asked him, so what's your relation to all this? I'm curious why you find it necessary to email me and say what I'm doing is useless. If it was useless, you wouldn't be emailing me, but by you emailing me is speaking volumes as is the status of David's cult, which it is. When this guy emails me out of the blue like that, it's telling me there's some damage being done. I think this is our call. Hello?
Ashley, to accept, press 1.
Hello, Ashley. How are you doing this evening, ma'am?
Hey, I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing real well. Thank you for calling in, first of all. So you're live.
Oh.
Go ahead and tell us what you know.
Well, about a few years ago, because this has been my bestest friend since, like, second grade, like, all throughout grade school, like, my whole life. And about a few years ago, she was telling me about this church. I think it was, like, 2017. And at the time, she still lived in Indiana. And she was telling me about it, and she kept saying his name. I thought she was saying Davy Taylor.
Okay.
And I was trying to look him up online, and she gave me his book. She gave me his book that face-to-face appearances from Jesus, which I still haven't read to this day. But she gave me his book, and she just, you know, I noticed, like, a big change, like, in her personality, because this is a girl that, you know, went off and lived in New York City for a few years, and then she came home, she had a baby, and she just, you know, eat, slept, breathed, you know, this David Taylor, and she was talking about him, and I kind of pushed it to the side for a while, because, you know, she's kind of grown up in churches where they go see, like, prophets and stuff like that.
Okay. How long?
They go see.
I apologize. How long did you notice the change after she started following David? How long?
Oh, immediately.
Oh, immediately. Okay, thank you. Go on. I'm sorry. I have questions. If I interrupt,
No.
I want to ask right away so I can get them off. But go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine.
Okay.
But she had asked me, and I didn't know what it was about, you know, and she had asked me if I wanted to do these classes with her in Indiana, and it was like every single day during the week, and it was like 3 to 4 hours long, and they were like, I don't know, it was called like the School of Moses, and I had started going to these classes with her because, you know, I saw like this big change in my friend, and I was like, well, maybe there's something to this, and I started going to this class with her, and I did it religiously for about like 2 weeks, and I remember in the class, you know, they're saying, you know, this is going to be, you know, grueling and tough and hard, and you know, not all of you are going to make it. And I didn't start putting the pieces together until like now, but I think that was like a grooming class, you know, before they went to David Taylor's church. And they were getting all these people in there, and they were taking classes, and they were learning things that, you know, I didn't know where they were coming up with their information, and it was just making me feel weird being in there, like the energy was off. And, you know, I love my friend, but, like, I just couldn't, like it was too many hours. Like, you know, I have a kid, and I'm like, I can't do this. It's like an hour away. So, like, she's been, and this is like 2017, and she's still, like, super duper, like, I hate to use this word, but she's high off of him,
Okay.
you know?
Okay.
And she's still, like, um, she's still, like, talking to me about him, like, all the time. Like, anytime, like, she texts me or we talk on the phone, it's always about David Taylor, and it's all about David Taylor. But, like, right before coronavirus happened, she said, oh, like, the last time I saw her, it was at my daughter's birthday party. She said, oh, we're moving to Michigan. And I said, really? And I realized it's because she needed, they wanted to be closer to the pastor. And so since she's been up there, the only texts I really get from her are links to, like, their church, or not church, you know what I mean?
Yeah, to their websites, to David's propaganda.
Yes, and it's, like, videos of, like, live streams and stuff like that. And my friend, she truly, like, with all her heart and soul, like, believes this. And, like, anytime me or my mom and dad or my brother, we try to talk to her about this, she just kind of, like, like, looks at us like
You guys are
like,
the odd
oh,
ones.
you can't believe that, like, you know.
And are you
And
religious?
me,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I believe in God, and,
Okay.
like, I go to church, but, like, I go to church because, like, I want to hear the information. I want to hear the Bible. I want to hear
Okay.
the correct information. I
Okay.
don't want to hear, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, like, have I been going to church? No.
Yeah. And I apologize for putting you on the spot like that. You're in no means obligated to answer that. I ask everybody here. I'm not religious, so I
No,
can.
that's fine.
Yeah, I take an objective look at both sides. Religion is good, absolutely, but when it becomes destructive, like the organization that David is running, it becomes an issue.
Well, I've never seen somebody so hateful that claims to be a man of God. Like, just so incredibly hateful and full of anger and malice. And the things he says, I'm like, how could anybody feel like this is the right way? Like
Yeah.
aside from the money grabbing and all that stuff, like, he's just so full of hate, like, basically trying to smite people down, saying,
Yeah.
God's going to kill you. And,
Yep. Yeah.
I don't know how anybody can follow that and, laugh at everything he says. And I don't know, because my friend, she's so full of, like, love, and she's just so great. And I hate seeing him do this, because when I saw that he was telling people to cut people out of your life that, go against him, it made me nervous, because I was like, oh no, like, I'm afraid I won't ever talk to my friend again.
And it's
you
true,
know?
ma'am. That's what David does. That's part of that is a destructive cult tactic, is to alienate family members from everybody they love. That is a cult
I've
tactic.
noticed that.
It is a tactic. That is. You can go in and look up Stephen Hassan. He. There's a lot of good information out there about cult tactics, and that's one of them. That is one of them. You alienate and you isolate.
Yes, well, I'm going to be
That's
real.
the
Like,
first
I
thing.
wasn't taking it as seriously at first. I was like, oh, it's just another one of those prophecy churches that they're into. I wasn't thinking it was as bad as it was until I saw some of his videos, and, I didn't feel like the videos were cut and spliced just to make him look bad. Like,
Yeah.
there are long enough videos to where he puts his foot in his own mouth, and I'm like, how can anybody... This is terrible. Like, and of course they can't see it, because she tells me when we talk on the phone, the times we do get to talk, it'll be like midnight, and she'll say, oh, I just got done volunteering at the church, and she spends so many hours. Like, she spends, like, all her days there, all her hours there, like, just totally engrossed in the church, or I don't know what else to call that place.
It's ma'am, it's a cult. Okay.
Yeah, the cult. Yeah.
It is by definition, ma'am, a cult. And I'm trying to get past the concept of calling it a cult and calling it a destructive organization, but because the cult members, we can't tell them that they're in a cult, because they'll be like, no, we're not. It's not a cult. No, you guys are wrong, because they're looking at us as if we're wrong. Like, they're looking at us as if we're the ones that are being misled.
Well, yeah, he's telling these people that he is the only way, and any other way is wrong. And I don't know, like it's
Do,
I
do
don't know, like evil.
yeah? Do you think David could possibly be mentally ill?
I think it's I think it is, but I think a lot of it is his ego,
Okay.
because
Okay.
what he's done is he's gotten these people who are like very hopeless and fragile, and
Was your
just looking for something, and he's feeding off of that, and they feed off of each other, and it's just making it worse. Like I think that it's like I don't know, like I think that there's something definitely wrong with him.
without giving
Like
too much details about your friend, would you consider your friend as fragile? I guess.
I'm going to be real. No,
Okay.
I never considered my friend fragile. My friend is very strong. Like
Okay.
she's always been
Okay.
very independent and very strong. But when it comes to like religion and stuff, she's kind of grown up where they've been in these prophecy kind of churches where
Oh, okay. Okay. And
and so they kind of got sucked in
gotcha.
at the
Okay.
at the right time,
Gotcha.
and because they had just moved from one city to another, and I think they were trying to find a church, and my friend had made a friend or something, and they showed him that church
Okay.
or cult, and my friend was telling me about all these miracles he performs, and I'm just thinking, there's no way. Like I'm thinking, what is this guy doing? Like I don't know, but I've never considered her weak. Now her mom, yes, but it wasn't her mom who, and I mean that with like all the love in my heart. I don't mean it like her mom's weak, but like that's just kind of how her mom grew up too.
Easily manipulated, so to say, not weak, but
Yes.
easily manipulated. Because
Yes.
these cult organizations, like the leaders of these cults, are master manipulators, man.
I've noticed, because I'm sitting there thinking, you're stuck in there, and it sounds like he, goes on and on and on for hours and hours and hours, and you're stuck in there, and you're, kind of with mob mentality,
I got
everybody else around you.
Ma'am, I got a question from a channel member who's been following us for quite a long time. Her question: does your friend come from an affluent background? Because if she is of strong personality, what drew her to David? Finances, or was there something else that could possibly have drawn her to David's organization, to the cult?
I'm not sure, because my friend, I mean, her grandmother had passed away like a while back, and her grandmother left them a large amount of money, like her sisters, and her mom. So money's not been, as far as I knew, money wasn't really a problem, because my friend kind of, she gets everything like organic, and she's very like, and she seems like she's pretty good with her money, but she's not. Since she's been an adult, they haven't really had to worry about money at all.
Do you know she's given any of that money to the cult?
I don't know about her, but I know her mom. Because I was just sitting there the other day watching videos, and I saw him. He had her up on stage, and I heard her name, and he said she gave. She said she had $2,000, and I told her that the Lord only needs 1,000, and she gave $100,000. My bad, 100,000, and she gave 100,000, and then she said that her inheritance, there was like $5 million that was being held up with her inheritance, was released on her, and so he told her to sow back into the church, and so she sewed back in $1 million. So it was like $1.1 million. And that pardon me, but that shit made me sick. I was like, oh my gosh, I cannot believe this. Like
Can I interrupt you real quick, ma'am?
Yeah.
This money is all unreported too for the last 4 or 5 years, 3, 4 years. It's all been unreported.
That's sickening. Because they truly, they believe it just as much as you believe you're going to wake up the next morning. That.
And they think, what I think what David preaches to these people too is like, oh, if you sow this much, Like, I'm going to multiply it and your finances are going to grow. And then it just keeps leeching money from these people. Like, David's a bottom feeder of the helpless, you know?
Yes. To me, it is, for me, like, even, like, I wasn't trying to get my kid involved, but even my kid was like, I've never heard a pastor ever talk like that. And I said, I know.
So your kid
Like,
called it out. How old was your kid, if you don't mind us asking? You definitely not obligated to answer.
she'll be 9 this weekend.
So a
But
9-year-old
she
has more
heard it.
common sense than David Taylor, guys. What does that tell
Yeah.
you? What does that tell you? A 9-year-old says, Mommy, I've never heard a pastor talk like that in my life. What does that tell you guys? And there's kids in this organization.
It's sad. It's very sad because I've seen, because my friend, her daughter is around the same age as my daughter, and
Is your friend managing her own finances?
is she what?
Does your friend manage her own finances?
Um, I'm not sure. I think that it's a trust.
Okay. Okay.
So, but I'm not entirely sure because I never wanted to
Ask
be
too many
offensive
questions.
and be like, hey, what's your money situation?
Yeah, no, and I get you. I get questions, and this is an interactive chat. And when we have call-ins like this, I pay attention to the chat. And again, there's very intelligent, well-educated people here
Yeah.
that ask some very direct questions, and it's not to be rude or indirect
No,
or
I know that.
disrespectful. There's a lot of questions. There's child welfare is concerned with this cult. That's why we question what's going on. He's a very destructive cult.
Oh,
We're
absolutely.
we're surprised that it's gone on this long.
I'm not gonna lie, I am too, because my friend is just as super duper into it as the first day I heard her bring his name up, like super into it.
Mm-hmm.
And she had told me, what was it? Like, it was kind of eerie because I was watching these videos and I hadn't even said anything to her. Well, I texted her like earlier in the week to invite her to my kid's birthday party. Like, even though I know she's probably not going to come, I always invite her anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And she said, "Oh my goodness, David Taylor has a recording just for you, like for me." And I still haven't listened to it because I was trying to charge up my recorder
Mm-hmm.
Because it's over the phone, because I wanted to record it to see what it was, because I wanted to be able to hear it a few times,
Yeah.
But it kind of made me feel weird because I was right in the middle of watching those videos, and she sent me that. And I was like, "Ooh, this feels horrible."
Okay,
It doesn't feel right.
I got a Kennedy Mueller in the chat. 100%, he's after her money, and yes, he's 100% after her money.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
That's all he cares about.
Yep, that's all he cares about. And if you can do anything to stop her, if there's anything you can do to open your friend's eyes to this destructive cult, anything.
I feel like all I can do is love her.
Yep.
And be here for her. And, I hope she never hears this. But,
Yeah.
or if she does, she can hear the love in my heart,
Yeah. We know David watches the channel, and we hope that the channel makes these people start thinking for themselves, because David is their brain. And we know David is not a good brain to think for him or anybody else for that matter. I personally think that David needs a psychiatric evaluation ASAP. My personal opinion.
Yeah, I feel like I don't know how he's gone under the radar this far, unless he's really got kinds of connections
Mm-hmm.
that everybody knows about, on the outside.
Maybe we're getting some recommendations here. Maybe you can recommend to your friend the best thing is for her to step back and prioritize her health and family. Maybe.
I so wish I could. I can. It's so hard to know what to say.
Yeah, it really is.
Because she's she truly, she is 100% she's into this. like super into this to the point to where, you know,
She's in it full force, 110%.
yes,
Okay.
and you know, it's because
Okay.
she believes in her heart, and you know, I'm not gonna lie, like not in this situation. I admire that, but
Right.
not in this setting. It makes me, I don't know, it makes me nervous. You
Can I
know.
interrupt for a second? I want to share some of the other people that I've talked to. Some of the other stories I've got is that other people that are involved in this organization have said the same thing. It's that it doesn't surprise them, as you're telling us now as we speak. It doesn't surprise me that my friend is this passionate about this, but this is the wrong place for her to be passionate about something like this.
Yeah, because she does like many great things. Like she does like all kinds of great things. Like, you know, doing like the women's
Conference.
where they get sold into sex slavery and stuff like that.
Yep.
She's like helped out with all kinds of organizations like that, and she's like she really is living a good, you know, moral lifestyle aside from this part that is consuming her whole life. And you know, like it's just that one thing, but it happens to be the biggest part of her life.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. And how long has she been involved with the cult?
As far as I know, since 2017. Like I
Four
remember
years.
hearing about it in 2017,
Okay.
and
And you said
um,
she moved, ma'am, correct?
yeah, she moved. They moved up to Michigan, which I'm not gonna lie, that like it made me sad because I was losing my friend, you know, that lived not that far from me. But then it really stood out to me.
Now,
I'm
is she
like
working at the call
this is
center?
real.
What is she? Is she like an actual employee, a volunteer? What's her status there? Would you be able to share that with us?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I'm not sure what it is.
Okay.
I know that she. I know that I've seen her on the live feed before, like
Okay.
talking,
Okay.
kind of like doing testimony,
Okay.
and but
Don't give her.
I know
Don't
that
give names out because we want to keep them safe ultimately. Okay. So
yeah,
keep that part of the conversation discreet because their safety is ultimate because we don't know what David's capable of.
right,
Yep.
right.
Yep. So that's
Maybe I shouldn't have said the thing about
no.
the, you know,
No, you're fine. You're fine. Name, just don't say any names. Because David,
yeah,
we know why we're here, and the fact maybe your friend is hearing your voice and she's like, "Holy shit, my friend is there. She cares about me. She loves me." Yeah.
yeah.
Maybe
Well,
she'll hear your voice.
I hope so. I hope she doesn't, you know, hear this and say, I can't talk to her anymore. Or, you
Mm-hmm.
know, because, like, you know, I mean it with all the love in my heart. And, you know, it's something that's really, like, weighed heavy on me because for a long time I just kind of, like, pushed it aside
Mm-hmm.
because I was like, it's not that big of a deal until I started watching videos. And I'm like, oh, this makes me, you know, anybody that you care about, you know,
What
even if it's
was
just a little bit.
what was what was your initial red flag? At what point did you say, "Hold up, red flag"? What was your initial red flag? Said, "Stop! I got to check this guy out."
Um, well, it was when my dad had told me about the deposition
Mm-hmm.
video,
Mm-hmm.
and I had looked at that, and I thought for a long time it was just, you know, oh, he's just money, like just money hungry, and like I didn't realize all the depth and the detail that went into everything. I thought, you know, oh, they're just giving to a pastor that's mishandling the money. And, you know, I'm trying to think of what I saw. I think I saw something on my YouTube about his deposition again.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, I'm going to go look at some of his videos. And I started watching them. And, you know, I feel like it's not like she'd be mean to me if I asked her, you know,
Mm-hmm.
why did he sound so hateful? But I'm afraid to ask her. because I don't want her to, um, like I don't know what she's going to respond with.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. It's the unknown.
Just like, well, I had said something to her a few weeks ago, too. I was talking to her about a church and about, how I disagreed. It wasn't her organization, but I was talking to her about how I disagreed with how this pastor was corralling people into his church. And she said something to me that really didn't sit right. She said that we shouldn't be, like, something about judging our pastors or our teachers because we'll be judged more harshly in the end. And that didn't sit right with me because I feel like I've learned that that's the person that you do need to be judging more harshly.
Yeah.
Because they're the ones putting it out there. And, but I didn't have any way to come back and say anything because my friend is very, like, well-versed and she's very, strong and she's very strong in what she has to say.
Yeah.
Like, not in a mean way, but, like, in a competent way.
Yeah, that's good. She's strong-hearted.
Back.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. That's passion. That's what it is. Like, she's passionate about what she believes in. There's nothing wrong with that. But in this sense, when it's a destructive cult, your passion is, it can be your destruction ultimately in a destructive cult like this.
Yes.
It really is. Your passion can become your own demise, basically.
Well, it's definitely scary. I'm just happy she still talks to me because from looking at everything else, like, people have lost contact with people and,
Yeah.
like, I think that's just truly because, like, they have that extra leg to stand on financially,
Mm-hmm.
And I think they're still oblivious. Like, obviously they're oblivious, but you know what I mean? They're still oblivious to the evilness,
Yeah. Yeah. Do you think, who do you think is the brains of the operation? You think David's the brains, Michelle? I don't know how much of you know.
Oh, absolutely. It's David.
Okay.
100% him.
Okay.
Like, 100%.
Okay.
Like, he's the one saying that, the pastors will be judged by him and God in the end, and he's the one saying that we need to fear him, and, he's not saying we need to fear Michelle. We need to fear this person, that person. It's strictly him.
Do you see any similarities to Jim Jones? And just knowing, again, just knowing from what we know and the similarities and research, past histories, history repeats us. We repeat our lessons until we learn them, right? Do you see?
I see some early similarities. Like he's not quite moved people to an island yet,
Yeah, but he does have an 11-acre mansion that's built like a fortress.
Yes.
So.
Yes. I definitely see some similarities there just because, I think he's really good. I think he's really charismatic, which is about the best compliment he's going to get from me.
Yeah.
He's really charismatic, and, people eat that up. Think of Hollywood,
Yeah.
It's like a show.
Yeah.
And, and he's giving them promises.
Yeah. Do you think...
to me, that's dangerous. Like, you shouldn't be promising people anything other than what's in the Bible.
Yeah.
100%. Like, if you're going to be doing that, even then, it's, and I feel like he falls back on that. It's not me saying it; it's God.
Yeah. It's in the Bible, David.
Like where there's no accountability. There's no accountability in that.
Yeah.
But it's sickening.
Do you think? Do you think they're laundering money?
I'm not gonna lie. Like, it's just a thought that I had. But I'm not sure exactly how he would be doing that other than through his book sales.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure exactly how he would be doing that, but I thought about it because, I don't know how much money he's pulling in.
Yeah, there's no tax returns for 2017. I ask everybody that because I've done the research, and I know what he hasn't filed. And I just ask everybody, do you think he could possibly be laundering money through his church? Purchasing all these properties and not reporting it, things like that.
Oh, absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I was watching the videos of him doing the in St. Louis where they were collecting money off the streets for cancer. And, I was thinking, how exactly does that go? Like how have you not gotten in trouble for that? Like getting all this money for cancer. And they said that it was because he bought the TV equipment, and that's how people are being healed from cancer.
Gotcha.
So I thought that was a long stretch.
I have a question from the chat for you.
Yeah.
Does David give your friend more attention than others?
I feel like my friend has gotten more experiences with him. Like her and her family have gotten a lot of experiences, but I feel like a lot of that has to do with because of the money.
Experiences, explain experiences, could you? A little more.
Like talking to him. I think that they went on a trip to Israel.
Okay.
Something like that. It was something like with the church.
So it's like the bigger money they donate, the more closer they get to him, kind of thing.
Yes. Well, I feel like he wants to keep them closer.
Okay. Did you see the documentary we made? It's on
I'm
my
not
channel.
Sure which.
It's on my channel. Check it out.
3-hour long one.
Yeah.
Yeah, with Jim Jones.
Yeah.
And, yeah, I saw part of. Yeah, I saw a lot of it.
Okay.
That might have been where I got some of the info that I'm saying to you. But yeah, I saw it, and it's.
If you don't mind,
definitely like
what made you reach out today? If you don't mind.
Mind blowing.
Yeah, it is. It's mind blowing to say the least. It really is to sit back and watch it and watch history repeat itself. Yeah.
Can I ask you?
Yeah.
What got you, like what how did you first learn about David Taylor?
So as a lot of the people on the channel, this deposition came across my feed as a deposition. We all went down that rabbit hole together at some point. It became, at first I was pissed. Okay. At first it was angry.
Right.
Okay. First I was angry. It's like, how, and I speak frankly here, how the fuck can this guy sit there and just totally act smug and just like, he might as well just sat there and said, fuck you to the lawyers. Right?
Exactly.
My opinion.
Right?
Okay. Then it became an obsession. I was playing this shit all day, every day, the deposition. I really was. Like, I have it memorized. Okay. And to play it all day, every day, it became an obsession. And then it became, my initial hooking point, ma'am, was the fact when I heard David start speaking gibberish, I was like,
yeah.
What the fuck? I was like, this happens? I was like, okay, I need to, that was my initial obsession hook. Okay. I've had to analyze this because it took me down a very dark place at one point. I was going to give up my life and go infiltrate this fucking cult. That's how down I was on this.
Oh, wow.
It was that bad because I saw what he was doing. I was like, this needs to stop. But it was dangerous what I was thinking. So now I'm here. He's copyrighted one of my channels. He's been sending me cease and desists. I'm filing fraud reports against him because I for sure think 100% that David is laundering money because he hasn't shown any 990s, anything. No money, where it's coming from, where it's going. All he shows is where he's taking money from. And that's not to mention the other donors he could have on the back burner where he's pulling in from every month from their checking accounts.
Right. I didn't even think about that.
It's a very complex scam. So I turned to a point to, instead of, it turned from an obsession to activism at that point. I was like, okay, what can I do to maybe help stop this? Because I don't know if you've watched the Gwen Shamblin cult documentary or the Crystal Clear documentary about Scientology. There's another one out there about Heaven's Gate. They all have similarities.
I saw the one about Heaven's Gate.
Okay.
A lot of the things in Heaven's Gate made me think of this.
Right? The big mansion. The book is crap.
Yes. And the people with the inheritances and the money and, living off of that. And, yeah.
Yep. So that's why we're here. That's why we're here. We consider ourselves like a cult watch crew, I guess. That's kind of what it comes down to. Like, we're paying attention to a lot of these prosperity ministers in these cults because it seems through the pandemic, the pandemic exposed a lot of these really shitty preachers.
Yes.
David was already on the radar, but it just, through the pandemic, it exposed him even more.
Oh, yes.
Has your friend referred to herself as a volunteer or staff member?
Yes, volunteer. volunteer.
Volunteer. Okay. Okay.
I think that she's referred to herself as a volunteer, and yeah.
Okay. So
And
volunteer.
she seems like very happy doing it. Very
Okay.
happy about it.
Doesn't question it. Doesn't complain. Nothing, huh?
No, not. I've never heard, like, if anything, it's kind of like, we're so lucky to just be in his presence kind
Okay.
of mentality.
Okay. Okay. And your red flag. Well, I apologize if I asked. What was your red flag?
No, you're fine. My red flag, what?
What was your red flag that made you question everything?
Um, well, she told me that they were now moving to, like they were now building a second house, like her and her family were building a second house in someplace in Missouri.
Okay.
And when I heard that, I was like, and I'm not sure if his organization's over there, if he has some kind of organization over there.
David has
But
3 huge mansions in Chesterfield, Missouri. He just bought another one for $1.9 million back in June. Yep.
Yeah, when I heard that, I was like, what? What the fuck is going on? Like, I was like, what? Like, I thought, because she told me when they moved to Michigan, she said, oh, we're not going to be spending all of our time here in Michigan. She said we're going to be spending, parts of the year up there. And as far as I know, which I'm not saying that she hasn't come back to Indiana, because I'm sure she has, but as far as I know, it's become pretty permanent,
Okay. Okay.
and staying up there. And then when I heard the thing about Missouri, I was like, what's going on? Like, you know?
Okay. What questions do you have of everything right now? If you could spit your questions out right now, spit them out.
My questions would be, like, why did you feel, what you or your mom feel like he needed that $1 million? Like, like, that sounds very superficial of me, but, like, why do you feel like he specifically, like why do you feel like they needed that? Like, that's my first thing. And second thing is how are you guys gonna survive? Like, I mean, I guess, I don't know. I'm thinking of the welfare of my friend. If I had any question for him, it would be, I don't know, like, it's probably one question everybody has is, how can you sleep at night,
Good question, David. How can you sleep at night? Good question.
Like,
I guess that was a question. Like, if you were going to ask a question of David, what's the one question you would ask him?
Yeah, it would be, how can you sleep at night, and can you honestly say that you're doing everything out of love? Because I don't feel any love coming from him at all.
We don't either.
Maybe self-love, but
I don't either.
And that's just scary to me, to be engulfed in that environment.
Yep.
Of just selfishness. You're just caught in the crossfire of it.
Do you think any of the members will turn on David?
I don't know. I could see if my friend came to her senses and stuff. I don't mean to say it like that because my friend's very intelligent, but if somebody like my friend, like people like my friend, saw what was going on, something would definitely, start happening.
Okay.
Something would definitely start happening because she's not the kind of person to, I mean, obviously they uprooted their whole life, to let something like that happen. So I think that if they had a couple of their stronger, quote-unquote, volunteers or members or, they would, definitely, and I think he would do everything he could to, diminish their word and seem like they were nuts.
I got a couple questions coming in from the chat. You're by no means obligated to answer this. Is she in a partnership? Has she spoken about any of the other members like Michelle or Joseph?
No, not that I know of.
Okay. Okay. So she doesn't have any kids. She's not married, divorced, anything like that.
Oh, my friend, she has a kid.
Okay.
But, like a whole nother world.
Yeah, we won't get into
Yeah.
that. We won't get into that. Definitely. All we is the kid not there. That's is
No, her kid lives with her like full time.
fuck. Fuck. Okay. Okay. That
Full time.
we consider that a concern. Again, not professionals, but the fact what David does. Yep.
Right.
Yep.
No, I know because
Yep.
you see even seeing the kids they're in the services. You can see some pretty young children. Like I think I saw there's 10-year-olds.
How was your friend
That's,
introduced to the ministry?
I think it was through one of her friends that she made
Fuck.
at a prayer group or something like that when she still lived in Indiana. And I think that's how, because I met a lot of the people that were involved in that organization, and I'm gonna be real, they were all real nice, but you know how you get that. I'm not calling them creepy, but they were just abnormally upbeat.
Like they love bombed you, yes?
Yes, yes, and trust me, it was. I had a lot of fun hanging out with them and stuff. I had a lot of fun, but at the same time, I felt kind of uncomfortable. So I kind of felt here I am. I'm trying to do good in my life, but I kind of felt like these people are abnormally perfect. I kind of feel uncomfortable. Not because they're telling me to do anything or anything like that at all. They were just, like you said, love bombed me.
Yep.
Okay.
I got questions here
This is
again.
what we're doing.
Huh? I have another question. Any of the friends, is your friend or any volunteers, are they close to David, or does he stay kind of isolated from the staff?
I'm not entirely sure.
Okay.
I feel like
He's going to be isolated, guys. I think personally, he's too above to talk to anybody else below him because he's the apostle. Okay, David's the apostle, the prophet.
right. Yeah, I feel like he's definitely got a barrier between him and even the people he considers close to. Obviously, for sure.
Michelle's number one concubine.
What?
Michelle's the number one concubine.
I mean, there's something.
Yeah.
There's something going on with that. I mean, I heard the recording of her talking to somebody. She thought it was somebody else, and she was just, I don't know, the evil.
Don't call him David.
Yes.
That was on my channel.
Yeah. Yes. Well, I think it was on your documentary that one.
Yeah.
Girl was talking about how all the people were saying, "You're gonna die, you're gonna die." Talking about how they sounded demonic, and I was like, that is exactly the feeling I got listening to him. It was demonic.
It's almost like join us or die. Basically, that's the feeling you get from it. Join us or die. If you don't join us, you're gonna die. Believe us, you're gonna die if you don't believe us.
But in the most scary way ever, very scary and very real.
Wow.
My gosh. I was like, I'd be scared to go there. I'd be afraid they wouldn't let me out. I mean, obviously they would, I would hope, but I'd be afraid if I went there.
Would it surprise you if I told you that David makes his members sign non-disclosure agreements?
I'm not gonna lie. I said that the other day. I said I feel like he probably has some kind of non-disclosure agreement.
Yeah.
Just because for something to go on like that. But are you telling me that he does have him sign one?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Who all does he have sign them?
Everybody that's on his volunteer staff.
Oh, wow. You see, I feel like that defeats the purpose of spreading the word. That's what you're doing.
Yeah.
Just saying,
And how long have you been friends with this lady for?
Since we were in second grade. We're 32 now.
Okay, so you've known her for a good portion of your life then.
Yeah, absolutely. She's been my bestest friend my whole life. When I say my bestest friend, I mean always my bestest friend. Like family trips, like to Hawaii, like Tennessee, like all kinds of places. Just she's been everywhere with me, my
What
family.
what made you want to reach out today?
I saw what you were doing, and I felt like I felt like I kind of had a perspective that might be helpful, and
Okay.
I'm sitting here, I'm trying to talk about it with my boyfriend, and he's like, yeah, like whatever, and I wanted to talk to somebody about it that was invested in it the same way that I feel.
Mm-hmm. How much of the documentary did you see?
I'm going to be honest, I watched the whole thing, but I fell asleep at parts of it. I'd wake back up and
Yeah.
watch
Okay.
more of it.
Okay. What did you think of it overall? Did you were you able to
I
make the
thought,
similarities?
yes, I felt like it was like I didn't feel like it was anything different than what I had been seeing anybody else talking about him.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think there's another YouTube page that I was watching. I don't remember what it's called, but it had like an interview of his wife on there.
Okay.
And
I think it could be King Brittany's channel or something like that. That could, I think King.
It was something. It was something like that. I'm not sure what it was called because I just found it on like Thursday, and everything she was saying, is everything that I've seen, including everything that I saw in your documentary and
Mm-hmm.
Other videos that I've seen about him. I feel like the response to his his organization has been. Obviously there's some anger and hatred there, but I feel like a lot of it comes out of the love and people wanting good well-being of the people that are involved in that church, or organization.
Yeah. David's a cult. It's a cult.
Yeah. I have a hard time saying that just in case like my friend sees this. She's like, she called it that.
Mm-hmm. Well, it is by definition, Bam. It is. By definition, it is a cult.
Oh, I know it is. I'm just trying to be as loving as I can.
Yeah, and sensitive. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I appreciated that. What it is it's people like you and the other channels that I've seen is the concern for the people that are under him.
It's a very
following him.
And the thing is we might sit back here and laugh, but when you actually sit back and listen to some of the other phone calls I've had recently, these people are seriously manipulated and are under serious mind control of this man. Very dangerous.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. It is very apparent. I've only seen things like this in documentaries. I've never seen it for myself.
Did you watch
someone that I love and care about?
Did you watch the Gwen Shamblin documentary called The Way Down?
I don't think so.
Okay.
What's it called?
The Way Down.
I don't think so. I don't think I've seen that.
Yeah, it's on HBO Max. If you haven't, I recommend you watch it.
Okay.
And it's almost the fact that David's buying up mansions. It's almost he's trying to do the same thing that Gwen Shamblin did, buying up mansions in a certain area. He's gonna have one. Oh no, you don't. We can have a car shop here. You don't need to go to a car shop. We have that here. Like weird shit.
Wait, he's got a car shop?
No. I'm just saying. So what Gwen Shamblin did is she bought like all these mansions, like these big properties, right? She was her plane crashed and killed like her and 5 other people, but she was doing some bullshit like David is, like some really shady, just mind manipulation, bullshit. And her plane ended up crashing. She died along with 4 of her other people. Plane came out of the sky at 15,000 feet, crashed into a lake.
Well, that's one way to stop it.
Yeah.
I mean, it's sad that everybody else had to go, but what gets me, really chaps my ass. David Taylor knows God's not going to kill him. When he says God can kill me, God can kill me if I'm lying. I'm like, anybody knows you're not going to just get struck with lightning. Like I can say that about a blatant lie.
Do you think
you know?
do you think David is misled as a man of God, or is he just a cult leader? Like, what do you think his intentions are?
Oh, he's 100% misled because I'm pretty sure, I hate to spew out things that I might not be
No, free.
entirely
We're
known about, but
nah. It's opinions here. That and that's what.
sorry,
No, go ahead.
I was going to say my impression of him was that I saw on a video that of course I don't read the Bible because those are things that have already happened. What I have for you now is things that, are now and need to happen. And I'm thinking, anybody who's not reading the Bible, this congregation, anybody who's not preaching from the Bible is misled, you know? Like,
100%.
you start leaving, like what the whole purpose or the whole, foundation of what you're supposedly building, your beliefs on, and you're going into a territory that is not of God.
Yep.
And
Yep.
It's like little by little, like dangling a carrot out in front of these people, you know?
Yeah.
And before they know it, they're already there. And they don't even realize, oh, we're not reading the Bible anymore. This is not in the Bible because he, twists things and contorts like the word and
Selected scripture.
He does all that stuff. Yes.
Yeah. Yep. Yep.
Because I don't think I've ever seen that man even hold a Bible.
Very
in
rare.
The videos.
Very rare.
Like, yeah. I was like, where's the Bible? Like, where is the lesson?
Yeah.
Where is the lesson about this? Because I was trying to see what kind of, because, I've been to church, and, when I go to church, we're usually learning about, like, a topic.
Yeah.
Or, we're learning about something. And, you follow along in your Bible if you want to. I mean, a lot of people there don't bring their Bibles.
Nope.
But, you're following along in your Bible, and you're following the story, because the story, they make it relate to now, and life now. And, and they bring that out in that. And I've never seen him ever do anything. Like if anything, everything is all about him.
Yep.
And
it's like they're false idol worshiping.
Yes, I feel like it's like whenever he's up there, like sometimes if he's had like a bad week or a bad day, it's like I need to just vent to you guys.
Take it out on you guys.
Yeah.
Do you think people are lying about David, or is he just paranoid?
What do you mean? Like,
do you think people are lying about David, or is he just paranoid? Like, do you think people in the cult are actually lying about what he is, or is David paranoid?
I'm so sorry, but can you give me examples?
Yeah, this was a question from one of the channel members. Stand by. Let me get the example on it, because I'm reading the questions, and I engage everybody this way when I get calls, and do you think people are just out to get him?
Like in his congregation?
Do you think David has this complex where it's like, oh, I'm a pastor, and because I'm black, like, or he might. I've had the race card pulled on me. I had a race card pulled on me the other night.
I feel like he definitely plays that part up, but I'm not gonna lie. I feel like people, like other pastors and stuff like that, they see what he's doing, and they're just like us. They want to help his followers out, and I believe some part of that is true. That people are kind of not necessarily like after him, but are like trying to, I guess, quote unquote, after his flock.
Trying to shed light on the cult, on the organization.
Wait, what'd you say?
Like, do you see this group? You don't see this group as us being out to get him, right? Like, do you see like?
I mean, not necessarily. Like I guess you guys are just wanting to hold him accountable.
Absolutely,
like,
that is the yes, 100%. We want him held accountable.
Like that's the way I see it. I don't see you guys doing anything other than it's being outraged by something.
Yeah.
That and he needs to be held accountable.
Yeah.
And he's not wanting to be held accountable for it.
It's 100%. It's accountability.
Land. Like no,
Yeah, it's a scam, and we want to shut down because there's other people in this group whose family members actually have been affected by some of the other more well-known prosperity mentors, Benny Hinn, Kenneth Copeland, Jesse Duplantis,
Oh wow.
Yep. Yep.
Has
So
has is your experience with talking to people that have people involved in this organization? Is their experience with their loved ones that they've been cut off with them, like no more communication?
yes, that is normal. That is normal. That is almost kind of the first step. It's a love bombing, and then they try to isolate you from your family.
Wow.
That is very normal.
I mean,
Yes.
I saw that, but I feel like, because my friend, because she still never cut off contact, that I'm like, but like I feel like part of her still has enough voice for herself,
Yeah. Yeah. So you don't feel like people are out to get him. You just feel like there's people that want accountability. I want accountability.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's what I feel like.
Yeah.
Exactly.
No.
That's the better word usage. Is absolutely people want to hold him accountable the same way people want to hold anybody accountable.
Like
if
if I don't,
power that's abusing it.
if you don't pay your taxes, guess what? You get fucking audited, right? You get charged with interest, right? David doesn't pay his, and it's a slap on the wrist. Your friend, you said, what's that?
Sorry, go ahead.
You said you've known your friend since the fourth grade. Was she raised in these kind of movements and these religious movements? I think you mentioned she was.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Not necessarily this hardcore, because I felt like the other people that I've met, because I've met some of them, and because I've known her, since we were 8 years old,
Mm-hmm.
and they, I felt like they actually did it with love, like there was more love behind it, and it was less about the dollars,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. So she did grow up in these religious movements then. So you're aware of them as well. I'm guessing you have some sort of knowledge and background on these religious movements.
Oh yeah. Well, we went to the crazy thing about it is we grew up in a Christian school.
Okay. So you guys went to Christian school.
Yeah, we were taught about things like this,
So you went to a proper Christian school where they taught you what to look for.
Yes.
Okay.
Like obviously they didn't go into hardcore depth, but they talked about, beware of
wolf in sheep's clothing.
Like this. Yes, we had a special class that we went to. It was like our biology class, or I don't know what it was. It was some kind of science class where we learned how to debate creationism against I guess it was creationism against evolution, and we learned all different kinds of things, including stuff like this.
Yeah. Yeah, it's like the difference between Darwinism and creation. Yeah. Theory of evolution and theory of creation. Yeah.
And so we learned about a lot of the things. In fact, we went on field trips and stuff.
Yeah.
So, but I feel like when you're brought up in a home like that, not only that, but when you feel something in your heart, she obviously feels something in her heart.
Yeah. You can't fight that.
You feel drawn to it.
You can't fight that. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. You can't fight what's in somebody's heart, and that's passion, and if your friend has that passion, again, the passion in this case could be her demise, and I hate to be up front and forward like that, but I believe in free speaking and plain speaking. But with this situation, the passion in these organizations is not good.
No, it's definitely manipulated to I feel like my friend's belief and passion for this has been manipulated for his own profit.
No, hang on. I will read a comment here. He doesn't promote unity. He promotes his own selfish interests and objectives and condemns anyone with a contrary perception or point of view.
Yes. And yes, absolutely. To me, I would feel so gross, spewing that out to people. By the end of the day, I would feel so gross, saying that to people and manipulating people into, just being shut off from everything. It's like cutting off it's like warning people before it even happens. It's like people are going to tell you it's wrong. People are going to tell you this and that. And when that happens, you'll know that, this is the prophecy or something like that, or,
It's a doomsday cult.
Oh, yeah. It's just, it's a disgusting abuse of power. And these people are following him. I feel like they could really do a lot to change the world.
Absolutely. 100%.
He's abusing them.
I always think of like, what if one of those people in there has like the cure to cancer or some shit?
Mm-hmm.
What if your friend's holding the cure to some fucking sickness that we don't know about? You think of ripple effects. You think of ripple effects like that, guys. Think about that in that sense. Okay. What if one of these people has that fucking mind power to unlock some kind of fucking cure, man?
I can guarantee you, if David Taylor had cancer, he would not be. He'd be in the hospital, chemo, everything.
Yeah. Yep.
And I would dare somebody to say, no, give it to the Lord. Like, don't do that.
Yeah.
Put it back in your ministry.
I got a couple other questions here. How long have you been actually following David for?
I'm not gonna lie. I've been obsessively following him for I spent 24 hours one day watching all his videos. But since Thursday, but I've known a lot about it beforehand because of my friend.
Okay. Okay.
And I don't know. I can. You know how you watch something and you can feel it, in your bones, in your soul, just how wrong it is.
Yep.
It doesn't matter how much time you spend researching it. You can just feel it.
That's how it is.
And yes, exactly. And that's how I feel about it. It's like it doesn't take me 2 years of research to know this guy is full of shit.
Yeah.
I know this guy's full of shit. I knew he was full of shit when I saw the deposition. Just watching that, and I'm listening to the way he's answering these questions, and I'm thinking, man, next time I get in trouble, that's how I should answer questions. It's just cars.
Yeah. When I watched the deposition, I was like, man, if I ever get deposed, I know what to do now.
Yeah.
So,
totally deflecting everything.
Yeah, deflect. Just, I don't know. Fuck, I don't know. Ask Michelle.
And then how can he say that they edited it and clipped it to make him look bad when there's no editing?
Yeah.
I thought that was funny. I was like,
yeah.
I mean, they're just asking questions and you're answering them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very
cut and dry. There's no way to misread that.
Let's see. Do you have any questions you want to ask of the chat right now? I'm going to go ahead and wind this call up and get back to the room and give the chat some more time.
Yeah. I can't think of anything right now.
Okay.
Other than I just appreciate this being a space, because I don't have anywhere else to really go.
It's a safe space here, okay? It's a safe space.
What'd you say?
It's a safe space here.
Yes, I've noticed that, which is what I'm waiting all day for this to come on, so I can say something.
Well, thanks for being here. Appreciate you. And thanks. Yeah. Allie, right, we're here. We have people from overseas watching us, okay? There's people from around the world watching us, what we're doing, telling us, dude, take this piece of shit down, please, for us.
Yes.
People are watching us, so you're with a safe group here.
Anything I can ever do to help.
Yeah, just be safe, and be informative of your friend, being supportive to her. Be supportive is the biggest thing, okay? Be as supportive as you can. Educate her, inform her, and enlighten her. That's the best thing.
Absolutely.
That's the best thing we could say here with this is those are the 4 things you should probably do. I'm not one to tell anybody how to live their life, but this is a destructive cult. The ultimate goal here, I have a request. It's more of a, Joe Gonzalez 22 says, make her think twice. Get her gears to turn. Get her thinking twice.
Yeah.
Get her to think.
next time we talk is, asking some of these pretty simple but like obvious, questions.
Yeah, and just support her. That's we encourage that. We encourage everybody
Yes,
to support him in this
absolutely.
because with these people coming out are usually filled with shame. But maybe your friend's full bore, and I guess maybe she just doesn't realize she's being lied to right now. You know,
Yes, absolutely.
so
Definitely, I see that.
thank you for the call.
But thank,
Appreciate you calling in.
yes,
Thank you for the trust. First of all, that's the
yes.
biggest thing here. If you have any questions, email me. And my email's in the description as well, and we'll
Yes,
try and get you
I
some
saw that.
support, and we'll get you some support and resources, and we'll try and get you in the right direction here, okay? Because there's people here that can do
All right.
that. So,
All right. Thank you
okay,
so much.
no, thank you for the call. You have a good evening.
Thanks, you too.
Bye
Bye.
bye. Okay, so thank you for that call. Appreciate that. So, guys, first hand account. Yep, 100%, man. 100%. Um, this goes with the whole mental health, the mind manipulation, like the born supremacy shit. Born supremacy is legit about mind manipulation. If any of you guys have ever watched that, I don't know how many who have, but that show is legit about this mind manipulation. Yeah, that was a good call. And thank you to the chat for helping with the questions. So that really helped. Thank you guys. Because I do pay attention to everything that everybody's saying. And I want this to be as informative and as organic and as live as possible. So when we have these people call in, if you guys have questions, man, spit them in the chat. Because sometimes I run out of questions too, because I'll get so sucked up in the conversation and I'll lose thought of my questions. So no, thank you guys for keeping the chat engaged, because you guys had something, dude. Those questions were on point, man. Tells you everything. Yeah. Destroying evil today. So yeah, that shows, you have somebody here who has a best friend that completely cut ties, completely isolated from family members, everything since 2017, and now they're volunteers. Oh, GSBM 70. This is the nonprofit tax ID number for destroying evil today. I filed for a nonprofit. Not even lying. See, I used David E. Taylor's name. I used David's initials. It was a channel. It was a channel effort. Yeah, but I don't think he's gone to Israel lately. That would have been probably a few years ago. That wouldn't have been recently. Yeah, Chris Com triple several years ago. David ain't going to Israel right now because this channel, me and a few other people off channel have done some stuff to make sure that doesn't happen. Yeah, we're only 4-star generals. David's the 5-star guys. He's the 5-star general. Post it, man. Post it anyways, bedsick. Post it anyways, man. Once it's done, I'll watch it. So we can see now, guys, that these people are being. Allie, right? That's what we're working on, man. That's definitely what we're working on. I'd like to get a team built here. That's what I'd like to do. Get a team built here. And again, most of the people that are coming out of this are women, so I'd like to be like a strong team of women, you know. So that's kind of where I'm going with that. Like it's good to know that they felt this was a safe place to come and talk, which we want it to be, 100%, because we know this is a full blown destructive cult, man. We know it. We know it. By definition, David, you're a cult. All right. 100%, man. If you look up all the fuck yeah, Ashley, bravery to you, girl. Fuck yeah. Fuck yeah, man. I'm not the brave one. These people that call in are and give their stories. I'm just the middleman for it, man. Fuck yeah, bravo. That was she owned the chat tonight, man. She owned the channel tonight. So thank you for that. If you're still watching, thank you for that call in. Thank you for sharing the experience. Thank you for sharing the because what you told us tonight is basically how you've known her all her life, and then the fact that she cut ties and moved out to be in this cult is. Yeah, and GSBM 70, Israel number one's Jewish, man. We have all kinds of walks of religion in here, man. I can't say which one's right or wrong, but we have a lot of sound minded religious people in here that can definitely dispute anything that David says. Yeah, lines up everything well. The Moses school, yeah. Jacqueline Jordan, good question. And I really want to touch on this, okay? Think think if David has to do time, right? I'm just thinking, what if David gets put on a fucking mental health hold first? All right, that's I don't know how that shit works, man. But to say take that power complex control from David, take his mansions, cars, phones, everything, take everything from David, right? 7 days. Put David on a 7 day mental health hold and see what you get. Yeah, he'll think he's Jesus, but on a mental health evaluation, you know what they're going to be like? This guy's fucking crazy. We need to get him fucking medicated right away and get him some. They're going to do psychiatric eval. They're going to be watching him fucking hourly, man. They're going to have they're going to be open that little fucking cell door, but he's still in there. Okay, cool. Close it. That's what they need to do with David. My personal opinion. Again, I'm no fucking doctor, but Chris Kahn, what's he dead on about? Yeah, he'll think he's Jesus. 100%. He'll think he's Jesus. And be like, oh, this is what they did to Jesus. They imprisoned him for speaking the truth. No, David, if you go to jail, it's gonna be for fucking money laundering or some shit like that, dude. I'm telling you. Yep, they are putting everything in Michelle's name for a reason. Bitter bad, yes, that's what I'm saying. They need to isolate that motherfucker, man. They need to isolate his ass, right? Oh man, you guys are all making badass points, and it's like one. I think they need to isolate him 100%, make him crack. I think if they isolate him, he will crack, but they need to isolate him for a couple weeks. They need to take social media away from him. Everything, man. He needs psych help as well as jail. Yep. Joe Gonzalez, I'm this close to, man. Trust me, I got to look at the legalities of it. Dude, when motherfuckers talking about walking through walls and then he's got electricity powers and shit, I think that's okay to call like a Baker acting on somebody and saying, hey, man, this guy's talking about walking through walls and shit. You might want to go check him out. It's just I don't know how the Baker Act works in Missouri, man. If he's going to go to jail, he's going to write books. Like fucking, Jesus Christ, man. Shun your shana na 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 knees. Chris Cobb. Mm-hmm. Yep. Books alone keep him in jail. So the mental health, again, the call took over a lot of the chat. I want to get back to, what was the question tonight? The self-indulgent world, self-indulgent delusional world that David's created for himself, where he is the master blaster run Bartertown type person, right? That's what David's complex is. Master blaster run Bartertown, 2 men enter, 1 man leave. So David's created this world for himself, and then also on top of that, possibly some mental illness, man. He's either nuts or lying. But the thing is, Ali, right? What if it's all three? What if it's all three like tied together? He's he's has mental health issues. He's lying and he's a manipulator, but he's also sociopathic and narcissistic. Because by definition, David is definitely two of those things: sociopathic, narcissistic, right? He he's definitely a liar and a manipulator. And Kid Frost, yes, 100%. I think there's drug use in there. Yes, Joe, I believe 100% he believes his own BS. Kennedy Miller, you want to chime in with me, buddy? What do you think his issue could be? I don't know if it's psychosis, man. It's kind of some kind of personality disorder, man. That's what I think. He's got some, maybe not psychosis, right? He's definitely a sociopath, man. Definitely. Psychosis, no, I don't think he's psychotic, but I think he's sociopathic and narcissistic. Little man syndrome, yeah, maybe he got beat up in high school. Yeah, control issues. He's definitely the dominant control. Yeah. Okay. Allie, right? I'm tuning in with you and Kennedy Mueller, man. So, Kennedy, yeah, they get in your face, constantly valid. Yeah, that's his whole thing. He has to be constantly validated because, without a doubt, narcissistic personality disorder. Yeah, and it's like the complexity. Like, I'm trying to think, when I think about this, guys, when I'm sitting here thinking about this, I don't think about like the disorders. I think about the complexity of them compounding on each other, right? Throwing the disorders and then throwing drugs to compound those. That's the complexity that I'm thinking of it. Yeah, the disorders are there. Again, I'm pretty sure if David got evaluated, they'd find multiple fucking personality disorders or whatever, right? My opinion, not a doctor, but just what I think. I go see a doctor, and I know I need to see a fucking head doctor because that's just it's okay to see a doctor, David. Okay. No, doing personality disorders is different. But what if it's a complete Kennedy Miller? What if it's a mix of all three of them though? That's what I'm getting at. What if it's a mix of psychosis, neurosis, and narcissism? Why can't it be a mix of the three? Okay. And I will comprehend the right wrong. They're not strategically hiding when the heat is on. Okay. 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 So that's what you're saying. He's narcissistic. Like he's not worried about like the police or anything. Okay. I'm tracking with you guys there. I get it. Yeah, it's illegal money grab on the most vulnerable in our society. Yeah, 100%. And that's what we're trying to make light of. So do we think he's mentally ill? Do we think he's created this self indulgent delusional world where he is the one and only David E. Taylor? Well, I for sure I know he has. He's created this world for himself, man. In 30 years. Yeah, bitter bad's on point, man. And David's not coming up with new contact. Okay, Kenny. Yeah, I've spoke with you off channel, man. And and this is I come here to put this out because I'm trying to understand it too, man. I mean, what's to say it couldn't be a mix of the psychosis and neurosis at the same time? Can they not go in one? Is it impossible for them to go hand in hand? That's my question. You know, because I'm really interested in that kind of thing. Can those two, the what were you saying here? Okay, so narcissistic personality disorder falls into neurosis. Let's see, psychosis or neurosis. Okay. I categorize mentally ill as someone who cannot help the condition that they are in. As ridiculous as my, they're not capitalizing off or of attention or money. Drugs. Okay. Okay, Kennedy. All right. Yeah, I don't think he's psychotic. Yeah, I don't think he's psychotic. Narcissism and the personality disorder. Okay. I see. I get what you're saying now. But could those? But even then, could those two exist on the same plane? Is there a possibility that those two could exist on the same plane in any circumstance for that matter? Not just David's, but in any circumstance, could the psychosis and the neurosis exist on the same plane? Your position stays the same. Okay. Yep, and David's yeah. So David doesn't care what we call him. Yeah. Okay. I'm really curious about that because those are the kind of the bridges I'm trying to I'm trying to get the parallel on. Not with David Taylor. Maybe somebody like a serial killer. Maybe I would think psychosis and neurosis. I think that maybe would be where you'd find something like that. Okay. Yeah, I don't think David. I am understanding now what you guys are saying. I don't think he does now that I'm thinking about it. He definitely falls under the neurosis part of it, like mental disorder. Yeah. I'm definitely thinking like for if you were going to be like a serial killer, yeah. And the approach would be completely different, but there would be an indication of psychosis, yeah. Like Doyle Davidson maybe abusing his staff like in on camera in public and shit. Like that would be that would be a sign of psychosis, I think. Start hitting your staff and shit while everybody's watching. I think that was my biggest question though, is if those could exist. I know his hairline's even departed from him. Yeah, he's all over the place, man. Yeah, David wouldn't call in and brag about his crimes. He's just gonna keep running his crimes. Yeah, a mass protest, legend lives. That's something I wouldn't mind doing. And I'm not talking just like 10 or 20 people, man. I'm talking like a few hundred people for like several days in a row. That's the kind of protest I'm talking. I'm talking lining the whole front of his building, basically. That's the kind of protest I'd want to do. Something that would really draw attention for a few days. I don't know how something like that would be done. I mean, it would have to happen as a mass protest, guys. It would have to happen that way. Only other way any kind of any I think would have an effect. Yeah, something big time to get more attention. Huge, man. Huge. That's the next route it'd have to go. It would have to get big attention like that, no doubt. And I think that's the next big thing that could bring attention. Yeah, we got to put our heads together, man. This is a chess game, guys. It's a chess game with David. I can play chess real well too, David. I'm still kind of. I'm gonna get in touch with the courts tomorrow about the court hearing on Friday. It was. Yep. GSBM 70. Yeah. Takes sound group effort working together to help these people. Some with experience and knowledge of cults, and other with people with religious experience. Do you know, at Kennedy Mueller, I've also thought about that. Getting a major. But why get, it's like, why give him that kind of coverage? I would much rather him pick up a news story of like 300 people, 400 people protesting out in front of his church cult headquarters. The trial is still full on. I went Friday. Let me. A lot of people were asking about that. There are other people asking about that, and let me get to that. I went in Friday to watch the trial. I only got to watch maybe the last 30 seconds of it, and I think it was the court did just barely enough to get by to cover their ass on as far as letting me in to watch the trial, because I told them, I was like, hey, I fall under ADA. You guys have to let me into that hearing because it's a public hearing, right? I was like, if I can't make it because I'm on a fixed income right now, and you guys have to let me in that hearing, right? So how did it go? She's like, well, I talked to the court clerk, and the way I told her, I was like, well, it sounded like you didn't like you were gonna let me in the first place. You weren't very clear. And she's like, well, now that I'm glad we got that assumption out of the way, I'm going to go ahead and let the judge listen to this message. I was like, please do. So what the judge did was let me in like the last 30 seconds of the court hearing to say, oh, yeah, the lawyers are still working on everything, and, court's adjourned until then. But there was a trial conference for an hour and some change, and they didn't let me hear shit. And I'm really fucking pissed about that. I want to go to his fucking court case. I want to go to his trial. I want to go to his trial so bad. I've thought about it, going dark for the week that his trial is on my channel, and going up there and showing up and taking notes on that court hearing. Fuck with me, David. Test me, dude. Okay, I dare you. It's gonna take people different news out. I've done it before. Finding someone with the balls to publish something is more challenging. Yeah, yeah. It is. It's especially with religion, man. It's hard to find somebody who's willing to publish religion. Yeah, it brings in things. Yeah, there's all kinds of motions that have been filed in this trial. I think for real, Friday, that David no doubt bitched to his lawyers that I wanted to view the trial, and he probably, he's bullying me on the internet, Your Honor. Will you tell him he can't be at the trial? Will you tell my lawyer that he can't be at the trial, Your Honor? I guarantee that's what David did, man. No doubt bitched to his lawyers, because he's. I want to say something about my video. It actually got put back up too, David. Um, Yeah, it prevents parties from bringing things up like reputation. My video got put back up. The one that was struck down, that got a community strike on it. YouTube saw fit to reinstate it apparently, so they reinstated it. So apparently I'm hoping I'll get. I talked to Cult Watch, and they said that I talked to them about it because they've had community strikes before. What they told me is that that's happened to a lot of their videos over there, and over the weekend they'll get those. The video will get put back up, and they told me I should be getting an email by tomorrow sometime saying the video's been reinstated. So went on that one. What is this? I was holding up the 3909. You know, good or bad, I think I can agree with you there. I can agree with you there. And I would love to be in the court. Trust me. Trust me. I would love to be in that court. It's a public hearing. It's a civil hearing. It's a public hearing. It's open court. I can walk in. There's a decorum. I have to behave. And David, you can't stop me from going to that court hearing. You know that, right? So if I decide to show up there one day, just bring an extra pair of underwear, okay? That way, in case you shit your pants and you see me there, I would love to be there. I would love to travel for it. It's in St. Louis, Missouri. It's not that far. No, I would protest outside the courthouse. No, I would go protest at his cult headquarters. Like, I'll get a fucking motel room. I don't care. I'll get a goddamn motel room. I'll go stay 2 blocks from the goddamn courthouse. So I'll walk every fucking day. And I will go take notes on that whole trial. Yeah, bring some industrial strength of pens, David. They're probably gonna need like fucking 10 bags of baby fucking wipes, okay? Yep, drink some prune juice. I will. I've. That's that is the depths of this process that I want to go to. Really, that is the depths of the process that I want to take this to. Is because I feel that's what needs done. It's going to be a week, Kenny Mueller. I think 7 days total. I think, or 5 days, 5 to 7 days. But I think it's going to be like a whole week, like a whole 7 days. Don't quote me on that, but I think it's either 5 days or 7 days. Okay, but it's going to last a whole week. I know that for sure. And it's December. Like, I gotta find out. Yep, got to keep your shit together, man. Yep. The judge can hold you in contempt just as he can hold anybody in contempt for acting an asshole in the court, man. Yep, I would never do that either. I would go there to shut my mouth. I would sit there just like this. Yep, I would sit there. I would sit there and I would just take notes. That's all I would do. You can't. I don't think the judge can halt a journalist from going in and taking notes. So I could go there with a legal pad and just take notes. I wouldn't be able to like type or go in with a recording device of anything of that sort. Just a pen and paper. That's it. Because the court report is the court report. I, judge wouldn't have to carry the courtroom. David would just do it just by fucking cutting ass, man. No doubt. Yep. Keep quiet and observe. Yep. That's exactly what I would do. Shut my mouth and sit there. It would. I know for a fact it would make David very, very, very uncomfortable. I think that's a good thing about it. Knowing how uncomfortable it would make David. He would. I'm the last person you'd want to see in that courtroom. He'd be like, shit, he's here. He's here. I would hope one of them would come sit next to me too. Maybe Michelle would come sit next to me. I can give him some real proprietary information. GSBM, I am seriously considering it. Trust me. Seriously considering it. It's a logistics thing. Yeah, it is. It's Allie, right? I'm reading your question. Yeah, for ex members of family members, recovery steps. Yeah. Oh, I wouldn't go incognito. I wouldn't. Kennedy Mueller. Yeah. No, we've talked off channel, man. I get you. No, I know you would. Nope. I'd go just like this. I don't know if I'd be wearing this. I would dress for court. I would dress in like slacks and a top. Yeah, I would dress for court, man. I would dress properly. But bitter bad. I was reading your question from earlier, and I'm 100% with you. I'm with you there 100%. Something a little bit bigger, maybe. But let's see if you guys got any more questions. I think I'm going to go ahead and start wrapping it up here pretty quick. Going on 9:40 here Central Time, 10:40 on the East Coast. You guys got any questions, comments, concerns about the channel? Anything you'd like to see changed? I know some people are really upset about my Kyle Rittenhouse photo. If you can't take a meme, I don't know what to tell you. I actually had people coming over here just telling me how horrible of a person I was for even putting that photo up as a meme. So, I don't know. No, you're good, Kennedy Mueller. We're doing the right thing, man. We're doing the right thing. Where's some Versace? Yeah, I don't know if they're the kind of suits I wear. When David gets caught, see a video on last comment. And I can't wait for David to get caught, man. He's been running this money laundering scheme for too long. It needs to stop. Been pulling this shit too long. All right, I think I'll go ahead and wrap it up there, guys. Um, yeah, so I definitely think that David has created this self-indulgent, delusional world for himself, and he's just drowning in uh, his own man, just his own like self delusions. I don't know how you did it, David. Yeah, everybody, thanks for a good live tonight, man. It was awesome. Phone call was great. Thank you for that. This again shows you the manipulation that goes on here, guys. So we know this isn't a joke. We know this is real. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe if you're new here. And this is an open channel, so if there's any member from this cult that wants to get out, wants help, there's people here that are ready to help. Okay, so you guys stay safe. David E. Taylor, you're a piece of shit.